Hello, pickleballers. Welcome to Tennis Sucks podcast. I was really disturbed in the past week when I learned that my podcast fellow here, one, agreed with the fact that he would dump a partner, and two, made me aware that he does not shower, takes hippie showers, and jumps in the pool as opposed to a normal bathing process.
I just want to keep those natural oils. It's good for your skin, I've been told.
That is so far from the truth, and absolutely, in some way, Graham, though, it just makes me appreciate you even more. You are the GM, the genetic mutant of the Florida Smash, and
the Grand Mullet.
The Grand Mullet, the Goat Maker.
The Goat Maker.
Yep, all
Does
those things.
Austin recommend that?
I think that's a very good question. He would know, actually. Is that a benefit to your skin and longevity or health longevity? He would know.
How do you stay the most grounded?
You take your shoes off.
You don't shower. Trees. If you want to stay natural and grounded, you don't shower.
Yep, genius. Okay, so Graham, go ahead. Introduce our guest.
So we're here today with kind of the founder of Smash Pickleball, now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Co-founder of Smash Pickleball, Nate Jager. Really good friend of mine. I've known him since I started playing pickleball. He's my playing partner. He's the better side.
Let's go.
Until 4 kids, then it's kind of.
Hey, I'm still playing. We're working on some duper tournaments coming up.
All right, I'm glad to hear that.
I need to get out of town. I need to get some sleep.
He's a lefty with a monster forehand, and just crashes the net.
A very crafty lefty fade, probably his best shot. The fade dink.
The lefty fade.
Yeah.
But he's also the number one teacher, definitely in St. Petersburg, Tampa Bay, probably in all of Florida, maybe in the whole country.
It's bold.
Yeah.
That's
better than Morgan Evans. I'm calling you guys out.
That's very bold.
You know, just all talk.
But Nate Jager, what's going on, Nate?
I'm excited to be here. I totally fanboyed out today and wore my Florida Smash jersey. I'm, I think, the only one outside of the Florida Smash team who actually has Florida Smash apparel, even though everyone wants some.
Yep.
And this shirt is up for sale for $250.
If I sign it, it goes to $200. We also want to say thank you to Selkirk for the support and for helping us produce this podcast. And that's it.
So
Best
Nate,
paddles on the market.
If you could tell us a little bit about like how you got into pickleball, your background, maybe sports, college sports.
Sure.
Let the people know.
I played tennis and soccer growing up and competitively into college, and loved those sports, but then kind of quit sports after college. And my dad kept asking me to play pickleball. Somehow his insurance agency became the pickleball mecca for West Michigan, where I grew up, and he kept asking me, and I had randomly taken a course in college called Sports You'll Never Play Again, and one of the sports was pickleball, and so I knew what pickleball was. And
is that a legitimate course?
That's a legitimate.
And did you pay for that course? That info is obviously bad.
That's incredible.
I paid.
Bad info. Yes. And 2, you get credits for that?
Yeah, I got.
I don't think they had that at UCLA.
At least 1 college credit for it.
Wow.
Did you actually play sports you'll never play again?
I did. I don't think I've played any other sports that I played in that sport.
Can I ask, what was another one? Pickleball was
we did
one.
lawn darts.
Yep, never going to play that one.
We did a bunch of games with trampolines that you probably did when you were like in 5th grade in gym class. But that's the class where I was introduced to pickleball. So when my dad told me that he had been playing pickleball, I thought that's really stupid. And I kept telling him no. And then probably 3 or 4 years ago, we went on a trip to the Florida Keys, and I agreed to go out with my dad to play pickleball.
Was it at the Sobek Academy?
I mean, maybe.
Probably the only courts in Key West.
Yeah, it might have been, but it was awesome. And I immediately went back to West Michigan and told my friends about it, and we all bought paddles. And for probably the first 6 months I played, it was just going out and having an evening with friends out on the pickleball course, but it wasn't that serious. And then I went and watched a pro tournament in Grand Rapids, Michigan, my hometown, the Beer City Open, and it was incredible. The players were unbelievable, and the athleticism was incredible, and it was just something that drove me to want to learn more about the game.
And there's a lot of good pros that come out of that area, those courts even, right? Like Leia Jansen, I know, is one. Andrea Koop.
Ralph Siebenschein, Andrea Koop. Yeah, really good play there. And it was just incredible to watch. And like I said, I just wanted to learn more about the game, and I started taking lessons right away.
Great shot, Barry.
That was a good shot. And so I just kept it rolling and learned how to play the game, and I had no plans to teach or anything. I just wanted to learn to get better.
And Nate, before you were even out here, was the best guy to step on Crescent Lake. And I'm like, maybe a 4-0, high 3.54. I'm like, this guy's good.
Yeah, Graham has referenced that to me many times. The first time he saw Nate play, it was like his eyes widened, and this is what pickleball is supposed to be. And he just couldn't believe that someone could be that good.
I mean, I was a 2-0 at the time.
Of course, I'm nothing. I love that.
It looked awesome.
You just had this overwhelming affection right away because of the quality of play.
He's the best player until you showed up. It was Nate, then you.
I was a middle of the road player in Grand Rapids, and then I came here and I was a superstar. There just was not that good a play here. People didn't really know what they were doing. They were playing on courts that slope 6 feet, and
not anymore.
Not anymore.
Yeah,
the court still slopes 6 feet.
And I got to say, I think Nate's obviously played a pretty substantial role in that, as have you, Graham. And maybe that's our next convo, is how that progression has happened.
Yeah, and when I met Nate, we eventually got into teaching and clinics. We started a kind of, not a company, but a name, Smash Bros Pickleball, which is the origin of Smash Pickleball. I think that the owners saw that name and thought, we like that.
Yeah,
get rid of the
Florida
bros.
Smash, for sure. Yep.
And let's call it Smash Pickleball. And that's kind of where the name for Florida Smash began. But what we want to do first, and we forgot to say, as always, our producer Ro is here.
Hello, producer Ro.
What's going on, you guys? Thanks for having me.
I think we want to talk about, you tell me, what's our next topic?
I think we want to talk about PPA Orlando.
Yeah, we're going to recap Orlando. And the reason for that is we had a ton of Crescent Lake medalists, and a lot of them which Nate actually teaches. So we thought it was a perfect time to bring Nate in, talk with him about the Orlando recap and what it is to be a pickleball instructor. So first, Travis, I guess let's hear your thoughts on PPA Orlando, the Hertz Open.
Obviously, venue's cool. USDA National Campus is a monster facility. Had a really interesting call from a friend. It was actually my dad's best friend currently. They play tennis all the time, and he lives in Wesley Chapel. Thought I was playing Sunday, so drove there to watch. I was not playing Sunday, obviously, because I had lost. But his words were, I've gone to tennis challengers there. I've gone to events over and over at the USDA National Campus. I have never seen that many people at the campus to watch an event.
Oh, wow.
That's amazing.
Amazing, right? So he was like, because I had told him about pickleball when my dad passed a few months ago, and he was kind of like, yeah, I've heard about this. I've heard it's getting pretty big, and it just blew his mind. He was like, how do I get involved? Anyway, so, I got to credit the PPA in that the events that they do feel much more like a quality professional event than maybe the other tour. Obviously, MLP has the premier events, but it felt like a very high quality event. The courts were great. Downside was outside of maybe the 5 top courts, they were temporary lines, hard to play on, a lot of balls going everywhere, pretty windy. You got these jets flying above every 30 seconds, so those were maybe the downsides. Thought the quality of play was really good. Did okay. Had a nice match with Jesse and Jay, with Rachel Retker. Always fun to play with her. And then Tardio and I got 5th. Again, I felt like where the odds makers had us was probably about right to where we finished. And overall, watching the guys from here that I've seen, I think we were seeded like 12th or 13th. But the seeds are so inaccurate because it's based on PPA points, and a lot of us hadn't even played PPAs. Not many of them. So again, I think us getting 5th is about right in men's. You know, you could say a little better, a little worse. I think we maybe overachieved a little bit in mixed, beating Smith and Terashenko, close against Todd and McGuffin. But, you know, again, just being a part of it and seeing, you know, guys like Carlitos and God, who else? I mean, there were so many people there.
We'll
Tom,
go over it.
Yeah,
I've got all the medals
there
here.
was just Clarkey, so many people were there. Evan
Clarkey
playing.
on the mic.
Clarkey on the mic with the
Commentating
PPA,
again.
you know, commentating again. So just to see everyone there and the kind of this community that has evolved here and seeing them thrive over at the PPA Orlando was probably the best part of it for me. Very cool to just see everyone have fun and cheer for each other and yeah, that was that.
It's funny how a month ago we were poo-pooing all over the PPA as much as we possibly could. Now this emerged and we're like, those are good events.
Those are great guys.
I mean,
Well, hold on.
if you're
That's
gonna
not true.
Best friends.
Hold on. Can I please make I'm not going to change my opinion on the Cincinnati event. The Cincinnati event, I still think, Barry,
Nice,
that's just
Ernie.
nasty.
Nice, Ernie, Barry.
I need to learn that. The Cincinnati event was, I still think, terrible. And the only reason I say that is because there was no players' lounge. And when I walked in to get a 5-cent half Panera sandwich, I was rejected.
But you weren't a PPA player.
Exactly.
Now you are.
I
You get
wasn't
that
a
Panera
PPA
sandwich.
contracted player, and I played for 19 hours for $70, but you can't have that sandwich. Yeah, I was still pissed about that. I don't. That doesn't change a damn thing.
That'll change with Steve
This
now
event,
as the commissioner
Steve as the commissioner is going to do a fantastic job, undoubtedly, of making the
of
quality
player relations. Yeah.
the quality of events better, food better, accommodations better, money better. That's what Steve does, man.
So I've got a list here of all the medal winners from Crescent Lake at the PPA Orlando. We have Macy, got gold in 5-0 singles, women's
it.
5-0 singles.
Yeah.
Chuck and Tom, 3-5 men's silver. I don't know if you know all these,
Yeah,
Nate.
played against
Yeah,
Rob first
yeah.
round.
Chuck got a silver in 3-5 men's singles. Mark Palace from Tampa comes there sometimes. Gold in singles senior pro.
Well, he's nasty.
He cleaned
Yeah.
up. Steve
He's
Riley got
smoked.
bronze in 5-0 men's. It was a 4-5, 5-0 men's mixed, but got
Way to go,
bronze.
Steve.
Singles. Cheese and Jim got silver in 4-0 mixed. Jeff Johnson, who we both know, or all of us probably know, gold in 4-5 mixed. Tony Roig actually got gold in pro senior mixed. Lauren and Lynette, which I didn't even know they were there. I don't know how I didn't see them.
They did.
Lauren and Lynette got gold in 3-5 women's.
Really?
And that's Lynette coming off of that Achilles injury.
Yeah.
Cheese and Fran got gold in 4-0 women's. Val and Kathy got bronze in 4-0 women's. Val Thermopolis, she's been to quite a couple of our clinics, and
Yeah.
And then Gigi Fernandez, also from this area, plays out here sometimes. Gold in pro women's doubles, senior pro women's doubles. And then a shout out for you, Travis, someone you brought up to me. Martin and Tammy Emmerich got silver in 5-0 mixed.
Did they?
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah,
And
no,
you were
they're
saying that-
Bradenton kids, but Martin's going to be nasty. For the people that don't know, he was 35 in the world in doubles ATP, made a great run in 2013, and hasn't been playing much. Still teaching tennis full time. Will probably continue to do so. But man, if he puts his head down a little bit and actually practices, he'll be nasty real soon.
Yeah, but just shout out to Crescent Lake
Yeah.
for it's a huge showing, and there were a lot more people there that got deep and really close in
Right.
some high level, like you were saying, Evan and Clark and all these other guys. But a lot of medals from Crescent Lake, which is huge.
Chuck and Tom are a perfect example of what has happened to this community, because 2 years ago, Chuck and Tom barely knew how to swing a paddle. They had no tennis background, but you've seen them out here working, drilling. They've taken lessons. They've shown up to clinics, and you've just seen their game go up and up and up and up. And now they probably shouldn't be playing at 3-5 anymore. Probably only 4-0 plus from here on out. But they've gotten so good that they can hang with about anybody around here.
Agreed. And the reason we have you out here tonight, one of the reasons is I think a lot of people, I know I get asked a lot, is what is it like being a full-time pickleball instructor? Tell us all about it. And
Yeah, I mean it's a grind for sure, but it's great, and it totally is personality dependent. I am somebody who likes being around people all day. I'm very outgoing and social, and I love that. I also happen to be pretty patient. If you're going to teach somebody, if you're going to do this as a career, you need to have a lot of patience, and you need to be willing to invest time and watch somebody miss 100 times, 500 times, and just keep doing minor corrections until they get that shot down.
You sound like all the qualities Travis doesn't have.
Well, I was actually going to correct Nate. I mean, in some regard, yeah, the patience is required as a coach, but so much of it is required from the player because everyone wants this kind of instant success. They think they're going to come to you because you're a great instructor and right away they're going to get better, which is what Graham always thinks, which is ridiculous. And you have to explain to them that these are 2 steps back to go 5 steps forward.
Absolutely.
And sometimes that's very difficult. So I think a lot of that coaching prowess is also reading the personality of the person that you're coaching and do they have the capacity to get worse before they get better. Graham does not. That's why he stayed at the same level now for the past 10 months. If he would listen to me and actually do what I tell him to do, he would be a 5'5" by now, but he's not. So anyway, yes, Nate is much more patient than I am. There's no doubt about that. I would never argue such a thing. But I also know that the student, if you are taking lessons and your instructor is giving you something that you think makes you worse momentarily, stick it out for a little bit. Yeah. Maybe wait a week. Try it. And then if you still feel concerns about it, again, don't do what Graham does. And after 2 minutes, say, I don't like this. And then we have to move on from it.
I think I just had an epiphany. The reason why my game's not getting better, I've been going to the wrong coach. So, Nate, if you've got any availability next week.
Yeah, I'll book you out.
I stopped coaching you long ago, realized that you were a helpless soul.
Yeah, but that's definitely, and Travis and I have done a lot of clinics together, and so have Graham and I, and something we tell our students all the time is we're trying to replace bad habits that you're good at with good habits that you're bad at.
That's well said.
And it's going to take a while for you to get comfortable hitting the ball in the way that we're telling you or using the technique that we're telling you. And some people, I literally had a guy once tell me, yeah, I don't want to do that. I just want you to make me better right now. And I'm like, all right, well.
It's generally the first question I ask. I said, do you want to learn to do this the right way or do you want to just be better now?
Yeah.
And most people say I want to do it the right way, but in reality, they don't. They say that, but they don't because they're not aware of the process that is.
Yeah.
But the demand is big, right? I mean, there's at least in our area.
Yeah, I can't keep up with the demand on my schedule. And we've got our coaching in this area. When I started coaching here 2 years ago, it was on a total whim. We moved down here for my wife's job, and I just needed something to do for a little bit while we transitioned, and then I was going to go back to my career field, and I started coaching. And
Cody, nasty.
That was nasty. That was the outside fade right there.
Yep.
I started coaching pickleball, and by the time I started applying for jobs, I realized I was making a ton more money doing this as compared to what my career field was, which social work doesn't make a ton of money, but
it's gratifying.
It's great. Well, yeah, it can be gratifying. It can be. It can also be real tough, but yeah. And I found a niche here, but I look at it and there's so many good coaches. Thanks, Tim. There's so many good coaches around here, and all of them can stay pretty busy if they want.
I know there's a lot of people. I mean, I get asked almost weekly now, how do I become a coach? So there's a lot of people that are interested in doing it. It's not for everyone, though. Everyone just thinks money, I think. There's a lot of people do. It's like, oh, there's easy money or good money. And
yeah,
like you said, it's a grind and it takes a certain personality. It's easy to do for a week. Try doing it for a year or 2 years. It's a totally different story. You got to love it.
Well, the more difficult part that people don't realize about coaching pickleball is the organizational aspect. You have to be extremely organized, and you have to be very time conscious. And there's a lot of, if you're starting your own small business, all the paperwork that goes along with that is there. You have to do your taxes. You have to do your small business plan and work that all out with a CPA. And yeah, it's not as easy as just saying.
And for you, organizing courts and court time.
Yeah, booking court time.
It's difficult.
All sorts of stuff. And
Organization with the city.
Yeah, and trying to put together a 40 to 50 hour a week schedule takes another 20 to 30, probably another 20 hours of admin work. And that's the part that people don't like to do, and that's why I do think people burn out of this job is the admin work that goes into the job.
Sure. And I guess that's good. Good people to know. And thanks for being such a great coach and bringing the level up and
Absolutely.
and playing with me. I mean, we've got some wins. We've got some 5-0 wins.
We've done some great work out there, Graham.
Just been a while since we've played competitively because you're dealing with a lot of new kids in the house.
I've got all the kids.
And
at
Nathaniel
my
just had
house.
twins, so he's got 4 kids under the age of 5. Sounds like the definition of hell, but God, he's a good fella, and you got to pat him on the back.
It's great. It's
It's
great.
great.
Yeah, life is good. Life is good. I haven't slept for a while, but life is
rewarding.
good. Yeah, it's rewarding.
You're just a selfless guy, Nate. All around.
Sometimes.
Okay, Ro, what's next on the list for Nate and Trav here?
Yeah, I think before we move on, you maybe forgot to talk about me. When we're talking about awesome results in Orlando.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how
We
you skipped
did
over
forget
that.
about you, Rowan.
I probably had the best results of anybody from St. Pete.
It was hard to forget, honestly.
The attire was the hardest part to forget.
Yeah.
Who wears knee pads and elbow pads
Listen,
on
guys,
the pickleball court? Especially
changing
skull
the
ones.
game, 'kay?
Did you get girls that play it against sports in the kids section? Or?
It wasn't skulls, it was street art, okay? And they were clearance.
And his paddle had like little gremlins on it too.
And the glasses were broken in the middle.
No,
We
they're
got
not
the
broken.
tape.
It's just tape for grip because I get sweaty.
Genius.
Rowan, I will say, when I called Graham, because Graham was out at the event most of the weekend, my first question wasn't, how is Travis doing? It's, how did Rowan do? Because
Great to know.
Because in those he told me you were playing in like full hockey gear. I had to know how it went.
Yeah,
7 points, baby.
Was
Yeah,
that
so-
what it was? So you played 3 sets, and how many total points was it out of the 3? So you played 11 first game?
well, 11-1 first game.
11-7 second game.
Yes.
Huge result. And then 15-0.
Yep, 15-0.
Oh, they
Yeah.
bageled you in the consolation?
Yeah, easy. And then
How many
I
dives
definitely-
did you have? How many times did you get to use those knee pads?
I only had 1 dive.
Oh.
Yeah, embarrassing.
wasn't
And I
worth
didn't
it.
even get it on camera. Definitely, I could tell my opponents did not want to talk to me. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't blame
was-
them.
Yeah.
Huh, I wonder
yeah.
why.
Yeah, I
This
know.
psychopath just showed up.
Yeah.
Doesn't even
Yeah.
know what pickleball is.
I know. I was trying to like fight him with my paddle. I thought it was like
The recess paddle?
like a dueling thing.
I don't think that's the thing that's even approved.
And of course, our podcast producer somehow didn't get the recording of the one dive he took in the pads. How sweaty were those pads, Ro?
Oh my god, disgusting, disgusting. Totally worth it though, you guys. All right, I
Got it.
did get. I
Wish
had
we could
a-
see the footage. It'd be great.
Yeah. that'd be
I
great.
do have the footage for the
15-0?
15-0. Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
we're gonna need that.
Yeah.
in a hurry.
I don't know about that.
Did you almost
I might
score any
lose it.
points?
Well, in the 15-0, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, in the
Yeah.
15-0, the one you scored 0.
No, but I definitely got in his head. I think so. I could tell he's rattled.
If it was 2 out of 3 sets, you were turning that shit around for sure.
100%.
You had game 2 locked in.
I actually didn't know that the consolation game was 15-0.
Vamos,
and,
Carlitos.
and so I 100% had that if it was 2 out of 3. I
Wow.
kind of checked out. I said I got on the next game. It's no worries.
It's probably the wind. You probably picked the wrong side to start or something.
no, and it was honestly the airplanes, you guys. You know what I mean? I think that's what it was. Yeah.
Those airplanes are tough to deal with there.
Yeah,
Chemtrails.
so Nate, if you have any availability, I'd like some lessons with Graham because Travis is the worst. He's just like 1 or 2 years and you'll be like 1-0.
High
so.
promotion for Travis. He's got a clinic coming up the 17th, everybody, if you want to come and overpay for an instructor.
Hey, JW is going to be there. Just listen to what he says.
JW is going to be super chatty.
He'll tell him what I say. He'll do what I tell him. Okay. You know that too, JW. We're all aware.
Can we talk about really fast, because I don't know a lot about tennis or pickleball, just racket sports in general, obviously. Like, I know there was quite a bit of controversy with line calls again in Orlando, especially with Davidze and Parento. In your guys' opinion, at that level, obviously not the amateur level, I mean, what needs to happen so it's
Well,
not
I'm not familiar. What was the match that had the dispute? It was a Parento what match?
Davidze singles.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, and
Salome got
obviously,
silver, I think.
yeah,
So she must have beat Catherine.
she did.
I
think
saw a Reddit thread about the women's doubles finals that there was a lot of line controversy in that match too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how does it work in tennis? Like, are there
Well,
line
there's
judges?
refs, you know, and
Okay.
they're actually legitimate refs. Nothing, you know, they're covering a line. I think they're asking generally 2 refs or 1 ref in a lot of matches to cover the kitchen line and the line calls. That's a lot for them to look at. And unfortunately, I think that they don't maybe feel as confident or willing to step in and make a change. And I certainly think you're seeing a fair bit of cheating, unfortunately.
How far away do you think pickleball, the major pickleball events and the leagues
From
like,
a full-
from line judges?
From either
Eagle
a real
Eye.
video Hawkeye,
Hawkeye.
a real video review or a full crew,
Yeah.
it's got to be close because as the money continues to progress, you can't have people playing matches. You know, right now the money is still small enough, but if you're having matches played for $50,000 and some guy, you know, is going to just snake you on a call, that's a huge problem. Now we went from, hey, we're playing for a couple grand, 2 grand, 3 grand, whatever, to we're playing for 50. Like if you cheat me out of 50 grand and it's delivered, I'm gonna we're going to the parking lot. It's on.
I'm
this is
great
real.
at calling lines, so if they ever needed somebody and they were paying enough, I'd be there.
I think you would be a great ref.
I've never missed a line call.
We need refs for when I play Travis in drills because he cheats me all the time when he gets down.
It's just simply not
constant.
true.
I believe
Guy has
that.
the worst eyes ever. Of course you believe it, Ron.
Thanks, bro.
What is that supposed to mean, Trav?
Nothing 15-0.
Thought we were friends, man. This sucks. I quit, you guys.
I'm terrible to all my
quitting.
friends.
Let's move on now to the draft. Yeah, let's talk about the draft. Let's get Nate's opinion on some of this stuff, and obviously we want to just get a little bit from you and like.
What's the date
Graham and
today? The
Trav.
6th? Say the 6th?
Yes, today's the 6th.
And the draft is it's revealed
it's
the
coming up.
15th.
Revealed the 15th, yeah. I believe we make the picks on the 10th or 12th or something like that.
12th. Hopefully, because we're having a tough time locking in the people who actually are going to be eligible.
Well, do we want to discuss that for a minute?
Yeah, that's why we're having a discussion.
No, we were going to talk about the draft and not the people that we're going to. God, always such a pain in the ass. God.
I want to hear
Even
about
like your
both.
trash talk doesn't make sense. Thank you. I'm really disappointed in the sense that let's call a spade here. Steve Kuhn is the birth child, created MLP, right? It's his. And the guy has done so much for so many players. And the fact that some of those players have the audacity or even the momentary belief that their importance is so relevant that they don't follow what he has in play for all of us, for the betterment of the sport, just makes me sick. And if you are in that crew, you know who you are.
Travis
Shame
is
on
coming
you.
for you.
Shame on you.
This is coming for you.
Shame. I'll never see you because you're going to be relegated to the league that nobody cares about. What are you doing? Think about it, morons. Like, this is for the betterment of pickleball. If you're a purist like me, we should all be playing in one league. The guy that literally has done more for pickleball than anyone is now running the league, has merged with MLP. Everything is aligned. You're going to, go to another league for an extra 20 grand for a year? You are clueless. Think. Don't be dumb, especially if you live on the guy's property.
Wow.
All right?
Wow.
Nate,
Jesus.
you know how we always talk about how Travis can't get partners in pickleball?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, man, I just call it how it is.
We're going to be talking about that again next week.
Yep.
I'm already locked up, kids. Already locked up. I only needed one guy to like me. That's all I wanted.
You might have just lost him right there.
No, I didn't. He's straight shooter. Thank you. You know who you are. One of the very few straight shooters out there.
Oh,
You and
jeez.
him are playing senior pro next year?
2 years from now.
All right, so I think what I wanted to ask you, Nate, was let's assume Travis is on the Florida Smash, which isn't a given. The GM hasn't made that decision yet, but let's say he's on the Florida Smash.
Yeah.
Who would you ideally, and take Anna Lee out, take Anna Lee out, who would you ideally like to see on the Florida Smash with Travis that's going to win us championships next year?
Ooh. So I think the female mixed partner is really, really important. And I would really like to see him paired. Yeah, Anna Lee, obviously great, but I think somebody like Anna Bright
Love her.
would be really,
Huge
really
fan of
good.
Anna Bright.
I just think their games, their intensity towards the game would mesh really, really well. And they're both really solid kitchen players, and they both have extremely fast hands. And I think they would be really tough to beat.
Agreed. Okay, what about the other guy and girl? What's the perfect team? Let's hear it.
Man, so
I don't have to be on it. You can pick anybody.
So I assume are you guys thinking first 2 rounds?
I don't want to say.
Would
Let's
be,
not talk about that.
Okay. So in my opinion, first 2 rounds should be female players.
No, I think that's a bad idea, but go on. Let me hear the rest of this.
That's fine. And so I would go. I mean,
LeBron, if you're listening, probably 2 dudes first is the way to go.
2
in this draft.
dudes first.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's not much.
You got to grab Ben.
Yeah.
And you got to get
Disparity
Riley
with the men is way
immediately.
larger than with the women. The
Maybe-
48th man is so bad. The 48th man is or woman is
Not even
comparable to
48th,
Anna
it's
Lee.
24th. 24th.
Okay, well, whatever it is. 24th.
Maybe one of the Kawamotos would be good. I know that they've had a lot of success with Anna Bright. I feel like they play a fair amount together, so that'd be good for mixed. And I feel like they're generally solid players as far as just they don't miss a lot. They're both they're not singles players though, are they?
Whom? Anna?
No, the Kawamotos.
They're okay.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think they're gonna.
I think when you get down to like the 24th, you're not going to find a ton of players that are solid at doubles and also solid at singles. You're going to have to give up something a little bit.
My top girl, I'm telling you, I love Georgia Johnson. Like, I love her. And I'll tell you why. JW is such a different personality to her. The way that she fires up during MLP, and I think that always has to be taken into account, is who can kind of handle that format. Obviously, we've always talked about Rafa Hewitt. The guy is a different beast in it. I feel like Georgia a little bit is the same way. She doesn't shy away from competition. She doesn't shy away from a little banter, and she performs great under pressure.
She goes after her brother under pressure.
She sure does. They played 3 times.
Knocked him out.
They played 3 times in
MLP.
mixed. Do you have any idea who won those 3?
Yep, all her.
It was all
All
Georgia.
her. Yep.
3-0. Now she got a little lucky in the last one, ball off the thumb, but nonetheless, she still kept screaming his direction.
She planned it.
She planned it. That little thumb was
Got
ready.
ball.
And yeah, she's
Oh, great, Cody. Way to get
to our
right in the
camera.
middle of the podcast.
yeah. So yeah, it's not a bad squad. So you got Kawamoto, Bright, and then the men's side who?
So I assuming you,
Thank you.
I would like to go with somebody who's really great at backhand, the right side of the court. Maybe you get like a Kyle Yates or a Steve Deacon or somebody who can just play really solid on that backhand side of the court and mix well with you.
So they're on the right side, but they're defending backhand.
They're on the right side, but defending backhand.
Good.
Yeah.
Hear that, J-Dub? No more right side for me, little guy.
You guys, why am I not being talked about in this conversation? What the hell?
I don't think pads are allowed on the pro level, are they?
I can't.
Certainly not children's
I think
ones.
Rob Cassidy
Only
would have them
men's
if it was
gear.
allowed.
Whatever, you guys watch, all right? One year, everybody's gonna be wearing pads because they think I'm cool.
All right.
All right, it's gonna
That
happen.
would be sick, actually. There was one kid I remember in tennis that wore pads, and he was a stud. I'm telling you, the kid, he must have burned out, because when I saw him at 12, I was like, this is the best 12-year-old on the planet. He was about Rowan's size, and he was
That's fair.
just
That's fair.
crushing the ball.
Was it Rowan?
I did kind
It
of.
was Rowan.
I did kind of stop growing when I was 12. So.
And the kid was absolutely crushing the ball. Absolutely crushing it.
Yeah, I got a lot of power, so it could be me. All right, very soon. Nate, just help me out. All right.
Yeah, I got you. So, Travis, do you want to play forehand or backhand side?
I want to play the left.
So you want to play the left?
Yes. I think I don't play very well. I get stagnant on the right. I think I'm capable of it, but I prefer to play the left. Happy to always mix and adjust. I don't think there's that many guys, though, to be honest, that are really versatile in playing both sides. I think one of my biggest kind of pet peeves about pickleball. The only pet peeve really that I have is that you have to play, or you essentially specialize one side. I would love to see that you had to play both sides. I think
Love that. Love that you can specialize in one side.
You like that?
Love it.
I hate it.
Love it.
God, it takes.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that Colin Johns should be rated as the #1 doubles player in the world right now?
No, this is just because I'm lefty and I enjoy playing on the right side.
Nothing against you, Colin, but yeah, Colin's brother is pretty good too. And shout out to Tropical again.
Come on.
Damn it.
But you have, like, one of the things that I think is best about your game is your forehand roll cross dink.
Correct. It is, and I think it's.
And his backhand roll covering center.
Yeah.
Is nasty too.
Yeah, it's nasty.
Both those.
I'm not saying I'm worse. I honestly just enjoy the left a lot more, and I think that.
It's just because you get to cover more of the court, you get more balls.
Sure, I think it's more fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, Rowan, this might be our longest podcast yet.
It sure is.
Darn,
yeah.
we got to
Yeah,
cut
you
this
guys,
out. All right. Wrap us up here.
Yeah. Nate, thank you so much.
Happy to be here. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome,
tennis
Nate.
sucks. Fuck tennis. Tennis always will suck. Thanks,
Great.
Scott.
Now we got to edit that word out. Way to
Tennis
go.
fucking sucks.
Jesus.
Tennis is not as good.